Hello, my name is Miles O'Reilly. Our social poker group played Texas Holdem about once a month for very many years. But when COVID-19 arrived, of course, we couldn't meet in person to play. We then devised a way of playing our game on Zoom. And the purpose of this video is to show you and your group how you can do this. We have found this worked very well for us. Now, first of all, I want to just explain to you the advantages of Zoom Poker for the members of your group. Apart from having an enjoyable evening that without any risk of getting COVID, the game can be played even if the weather outside makes it difficult to travel. You will not have to bring a gift for the hosts. Your hosts do not have to get supper for the group, and you can have a drink during the game or after the game because you don't have to drive home. Your poker group needs two people, one of whom will act as the host and schedule Zoom meetings. The host will need to have Zoom Pro. Also, you need a scorer who will record the gains and losses on a spreadsheet. Now, each player then needs to be, first of all, able to access Zoom or its equivalent on their laptop, their PC, or their tablet. Also, obviously, each player needs to have a pack of playing cards. Importantly, then, each player needs to have a container with money, coins in it to bet. And finally, each player needs to have a betting bowl. And I'll explain what this is in a moment. Okay, we come now to the playing rounds. We found that it is best if the playing sequence is the alphabetical sequence of the first name of each player. All players must shuffle and cut their cards prior to each round. Okay, as I'm doing now, and here's the cut like that. The dealer then deals the first three cards from the pack onto their table. The dealer calls out the cards individually and shows them on screen. Each player records on paper details of the three cards. For example, the 3 of hearts, which I record as 3H, the 10 of clubs, which is recorded as 10C, and the Jack of diamonds, JD. Each player then deals 2 cards to themselves from their pack. Okay, yes. Okay, I show now the slides illustrating the spreadsheet and also the alphabetical sequence of the first name of each player and my record of the 5 table cards for a session. I'm showing here the spreadsheet, which will be filled in by the scorer following each round, and secondly, a list of the names in alphabetical sequence, which we've found best in terms of dealing and so on. And finally, the record that I have made of 5 table cards in each session. We come now to the betting after dealing of the first 3 cards. Each player now has 3 cards on the table and 2 cards in their own hand. The first player in the sequence after dealer bets an amount to play by transferring their money to the betting bowl. As we have seen, the other players place their bets and also, of course, transfer their money to their betting bowl. Any player can increase the bet if they so wish, as in normal poker, and the other players must match this if they wish to continue playing. Players can opt out or fold them at any stage. The dealer then deals the 4th card, calling out the card, for example, the Jack of clubs, Showing it on screen, again there's an opportunity to bet. The dealer then deals and calls out and shows the final card, for example the 3 of spades, and the final betting in the round begins. After the betting is concluded, the remaining players show their cards, and one of the players wins the pot or the round by having the best hand. Because of the use of multiple packs of cards in this system, it's possible, although unlikely, that 2 players will have the same hand. For example, if there are 2 jacks face up on the table, more than one player could have 2 jacks in their hand. If this happens, the winnings are shared. Okay, we show now the winning hands sequence. You're probably all familiar with this, but it's useful to perhaps give it to you. We find that having this written down or in a book avoids many arguments. We come now to the section of recording the gains and losses. After each round, players call out their losses, that is the money that's in their betting bowl, and the scorer enters the amounts on a spreadsheet. Each player then moves the money in their betting bowl, transfers it back into their container, and the scorer then can, having recorded the losses and the gains, the one gain normally, on their spreadsheet, can give the cumulative position of each player's gains or losses at the end of each round or at the end of the evening. We then continue with the second and later rounds, just as we have done the first round. You may well ask how we settle up. The amounts won or lost for each session can be carried forward from one session to the next. There can be a settlement at a time or times of the group's choosing, with the winners receiving payment from the losers. Our group set it up, for example, at Christmas. We show here on this slide how you can illustrate the amount of money gained or lost during the game. This is after 9 rounds of the game, and it can be useful and interesting for the members to know how they're doing during the game. A word of caution: our system gives opportunities to cheat. Only play with friends and family that you can trust to be honest. It's a social game, not a gambler's game. If your poker group adopts this method of playing social poker, we ask your group to make a once-off payment for the group of about $20 to the PayPal account of the Irish Guide Dogs Association. The association does valuable work. It's an Irish registered charity that trains and provides guide dogs for those who are vision impaired and for the families of children with autism. We hope that you and your family and friends enjoy this game.